Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Mitchell, and today Justin and I will be discussing about consistently inconsistent. Now, there's going to be two parts to this. There's going to be one part where we're going to be talking about the relationship part, and then there's another part where we're going to be talking about your purpose, something that you love doing, and why you should continue on and do it. Now, we do these Instagram Lives every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you guys find this video content of value, you guys can show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. And without further ado, I am going to add Justin on the line. Okay. All right. How's everybody doing today? Oh, also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to send us a direct message, and we will reply to you shortly, okay? Yo, what's good, Justin? I'm gonna add you in right now. Or actually, yeah, send me the request. Hello, how you doing? Healing Moon Wellness, how you doing? And let me pin the topic today too, so everybody that joins in could see what we're going to be talking about today. Let me pin that. What's good, Justin? How you doing?
What's good, man?
What's good?
uh, get this situated so I don't look like
Yeah.
a total crazy person.
Yes. Let me pin this down. Oh, so anyone that's new here, feel free to drop. What's up, Simon? Feel free to drop a question, something of concern, and we will respond to you too as well. So I already gave a little introduction of being consistently inconsistent. What's up, JR? How you doing, man?
Yeah. What's up, JR?
Nice.
What's up, folks?
Yeah. Let me get this whole table set up. Yeah. How's
What's
everybody
up?
doing? How's
What's up,
everybody doing?
Healing Moon Wellness? I
Yeah.
see you. I'm seeing you. Using the products right now. Bam! Look what I got from there. Yeah. Paid.
Nice. You got some advertisement.
Paid. Yeah. Free advertisement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Whoa. Let's get it started, Justin.
All right, man.
Consistently inconsistent. I already told them there's going to be two different parts. There's going to be one part where it's going to be focused on relationships, and there's going to be another part where it's going to be focused on like your purpose, what you want to focus on, what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna let you start it off, Justin. What would you like to start it off first?
I mean, I guess I'd go more with the purpose. That's what most of my notes are on.
Okay.
You know, and then we can switch it into the relationship stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I got my notes here, but it really sums up to like we all know that like consistency is key to success. You know, but we are people. We all human, and we fall short sometimes. You know, we're not always consistent. Yeah, and it's just about picking yourself up, getting back on track. You know, yeah, just remembering your purpose. Yeah, and just sticking through it. You know, remembering your end goal, not beating yourself up. You know.
You know
just,
what I
no,
heard
go
that's
ahead.
interesting was most. Okay, now I didn't make this up, but I was watching some Tony Robbins, and it hit me where he says most people major in minor things. They tend to focus on other people's relationship rather than their own. So like you know the celebrities dating who and what versus like what's going on in your own life.
Yeah.
And that's something that kind of stayed on to me a lot more when and
On me. There we go. There you go.
Yeah. And so after that, oh, we got trouble in over here. Was good. And then after that, that's when I started to realize like there's so much more that I need to work on myself now, and that's been my road ever since. What did JR say?
Jared said, "What's the difference between consistency and stubbornness?" Um,
I think stubbornness has to do more
mhm,
with like ego and unwillingness to change.
mhm,
And consistency is just you knowing a goal and the end result you want, and then sticking to that, like sticking to the
mhm,
habits that get you that goal. Like stubbornness
mhm,
isn't. I don't think there's a goal in stubbornness. There's nothing you're necessarily trying to accomplish. It's just more of a
mhm,
stuck in a way, in a way, in a
mhm,
sense. And sometimes being stubborn can be good, but
mhm. There's
you
pros and
it's,
cons. Yeah.
yeah, but you need to know how to tell the difference between the two. Most definitely.
I think the difference between those two is that consistency allows you to adapt. Stubbornness is like you're unwilling to change for certain things. So if someone were to give you some constructive criticism and they're, it's coming from a good place, they're trying to tell you, hey, maybe, this isn't working because X, Y, and Z. And you're like, well, no, I'm just gonna keep doing it, and that's just being stubborn. Like you're just not willing to change. That's a
Hmm.
big difference.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
it's ego. I
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
stubbornness has a lot to do with being ego
What's up,
driven,
Justin? How you doing, man? Other
which
Justin?
we
Yeah.
know is bad. What's up, man?
Yeah.
What's
Hmm.
up? But yeah, nah. Back to kind of what you were saying about like working on yourself and being consistent with that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and I think that part of that too is like you got to continue to work on yourself as you get
Hmm.
older. Like I've learned more out of school than I ever did in school, if I'm being
Hmm.
honest with
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
And I'm not trying by no means the perfect
Hmm.
example of being consistent and
Hmm.
none of that stuff. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? As a matter of
Hmm.
fact, when you came to me with this title, I was like, "Are you throwing shots at me? Huh? Is this you throwing shade at me? What you trying to say? I thought we was boys. You know what I mean? Throwing shots across the bow." But I mean, I think
Well,
that's part of life.
Justin. Yeah, yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
part of life too,
Hmm.
man. Like you can't. No one's 100% all the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
No one is,
Oh yeah.
and you gon' have days where you slip, and
Hmm.
I almost think of it as like
Hmm.
I try to think about like what to avoid having like slips and to stay consistent. Like, and this is a strategy I need to start implementing more myself. It's
Hmm.
like, why don't you start planning some of these inconsistencies?
Hmm.
And like
Hmm.
sort of like a cheat day. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Hmm.
Like when you diet, you know what you're doing, but you have your
Hmm.
cheat day or your cheat
Hmm.
meal, kind of a reward, but also just to like that hey, I'm a slip, so why don't
Yeah.
I at least take control of me slipping,
Hmm. Hmm.
so it doesn't derail me completely off track. So
I call that my mental focus day, where it allows me to, like, for example, if I want to achieve a certain physique or whatever it may be, right? I
mm,
allow myself that time, that day, but not so much the entire day. I'm not gonna over like indulge or something. You know what I mean? What
yeah,
did Justin say? He's like, I'm like a tree. I just nod, but wouldn't do what I agree to unless the advice other people give me feels like it works for me. Yeah. Yeah, you got to change some of that change the views a little bit, Justin.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little bit of stubbornness in there,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like you got to pick and choose advice too. You can't be open to just what
Mhm.
everything everyone's told you, which is part of what we was talking
Mhm.
about too. Everybody
Mhm.
doesn't always necessarily have your best interest at heart.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, you gotta but you
Yeah.
still gotta be open to things. Like I wouldn't
Mhm.
just not say yes and not doing it. Then you just
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like an asshole.
Yeah.
All right, and nobody likes that. Well, some people like it, but
Mhm.
majority of folks, they're not fans of that. So you
I
don't want to be like that.
I think Simon Sinek said it really well when he talked about jobs and like how can like is there like a number that you could say, like when did you find out that you fell in love with that person? Like what's that finite number? Can you give me that number? Like no, you can't. Because and I wrote this down too. It says, and it's not so much the events and the intensity, it's about the consistency and accumulations. So it's about waking up every morning and the first thing you do is not check your phone, but tell a good morning, or or like when you go to like the refrigerator and you grab something for her too as well. Like those
Mm-hmm.
little tiny events. And he brought up a really good point, which was about like brushing your teeth and going to the dentist. Because if you were to go to a dentist only twice a year, all your teeth will fall off. But if you consistently just brush your teeth every day for 2 minutes a day, twice a day, that's where the consistency come from. Same thing with working out.
Your teeth don't automatically just get
Mm-hmm.
clean, but over time they will
Mm-hmm.
get cleaner and stay clean.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what we said the other
Mhm.
day. We were talking about, like people even working out. And I asked, do you
Mhm.
want the person who goes to the gym twice a month and work out for
Yeah,
8 hours
yeah.
and do like 15 push-ups every morning? It's
Yeah.
most definitely something to be said about
Yeah.
consistency. Maybe not.
Julie is, are you consistent, Mitchell? Because I'm still waiting for your call.
Oh,
Okay,
shots
okay.
fired.
Nah,
Okay.
she
Shots,
was,
boy, shots fired.
shots avoided. Shots
Are you
avoided.
are you being
Shots,
consistent?
yeah, like my dad. Okay, so Justin said, like my dad. He kept telling me, he kept on telling bullshit on my resume. I wouldn't listen to him. Maybe not bullshit, but it's exaggerated.
I mean, yeah, but even then, that's kind of different stuff. But even with something like that, I would say you got to like listen, like because you never know. You might even if 80% of what he says you find not useful, it might be 20 in there that you could use and apply, or just don't be so. You gotta be private, but but you also don't be like closed off to new information or old information and new ways of thinking.
Balance.
Oh, he's telling me to bullshit. Listen,
Oh,
look. All right, I ain't gonna say don't lie on your resume. I don't say that, but let's be blunt here. We all kind of schmooze to get a job. You know what I mean? A lot of getting a job is personality test. You kind of gotta make people like you. You know what I mean? Or say or like if I know you're into programming and stuff. Say you're not fluent in like Ruby and Rails, but you're kind of like, I played around with it a bit. You can put on your resume, I'm familiar with Ruby. You know what I mean?
I'm familiar with it.
That humble brag.
Yeah, humble bragging.
That's Mitchell's consistent. That's hilarious.
Yeah, she's causing some trouble. But of course, now this is not a topic that we haven't touched on, but it's a topic that I want to kind of give it a little bit more of a detail. Where I said this before, which was it has to be number one, it has to be an emotionally compelling reason for you to do it. So why? Knowing your why is really important, and I will get down to the why in later on in the video. But number one, it has to be an emotionally compelling reason on why you want to do that thing. So don't lie to yourself. If you don't want to do it and you're just doing it, like eventually you're just gonna fall off. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we've all done things that we didn't want to do. And like the go to what you're saying, this does go back to a lot of like topics we talk about. Like I know one note I put as far as like helping be consistent is like, building new habits to support being consistent with whatever goal you want to go towards, which is, we had a whole thing about habits and how that affect you and ways to, change and build on new habits. And I reiterate, that book, The Power of Habit, man. It's a great book. I listened to it on Audible. Haven't heard back from him, but we still trying. I'm still shooting my shot as I've been told. I've said excessively in these past quarantine months.
I didn't think you said it enough. I don't think you said it enough.
But that Audible. But The Power of Habit, man. It was a great book. I've listened to it twice. It's just good to help you pick up on little things that you do personally that you could change to try to help you reach the goals and get where you want to be. And to go back to like your why, like I mean that's something that we've heard over and over again with goal setting and like finding your passion, anything like that. It's like you need to find your why. Like why are you doing something? Find what motivates you, man. Even if it's if that shit's it comes from a dark place, man.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gonna front, like I'm be honest, like I'm fat as hell right now. Like I'm fat, but I remember when I
got seen you, Justin.
It's a great chair. You know what? You gotta say that to my face, okay?
I'm gonna say it to your face next time.
I'm gonna shake you like a newborn baby. I'm gonna just grab you and just shake the hell out of it.
Yeah.
We don't condone shaking babies, by the way. Don't do that, but it's just an expression.
Your thumb action, Justin. Julie, you may ask your question. but I may or may not answer it, just so you know. But yeah, I think
But,
yeah. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, you gotta find your why, man. Like I was gonna say, like when I did get into great shape, though, it was not from a positive aspect. Like I got
Oh,
this shape not because I wanted to look good or live longer or be
yeah.
happier. I got this
Mhm.
shape because I looked at myself and I was like, if someone tried to kill you, I might have been able to put up a fight for maybe 30 seconds before I was winded. That is not
That's why.
acceptable.
That's not a good reason.
But
So
that consistently kept me in the gym. You know what I mean? The idea of like somebody will try to, if someone was to attack you, like how will you physically be able to keep up? And but I mean, once again, that's a dark thought. I don't.
maybe that's why you weren't consistent. So actually, okay.
I was consistent actually for a long time with that, but
he-
it is.
he-
They go.
I mean,
Go.
COVID did a whole lot to us, but I way before, maybe like I would even say about over 10 years ago, I knew a guy that was a really good dancer, and I asked him, like, I was really curious. I was like, so what made you want to dance? Why do you want to dance? Like, why you like doing it? And he told me straight up, just straight up, he was like, I dance because I get girls. And I was like, hmm. And I was like, this in my mind, I was like, I don't think that's gonna last very long. So what happens when you get a girl? Like, are you still gonna keep dancing? Or are you gonna get that girl and keep dancing and then start cheating? Like, that's a loaded question, right? So I was like, but eventually what happened was he stopped dancing. He got a girl and he stopped dancing. Let's see, what did uh JR say? I'm gonna ignore
Yeah.
what you just said, Julie. Go ahead.
No, JR had an interesting question. In terms of hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. Is there such a thing as a person who has a talent to work hard? And I saw that, and yes, the first person who came to my mind is The Rock.
Mm,
That dude is, and I know, we all
mhm,
know The Rock, we all seen him, and it's a bunch of
mhm,
memes, but that dude, I don't think he's a person anymore.
mhm.
I'm
Yo,
a
what's up, Andy?
professor.
How you doing? Yeah.
I'm an old school pro wrestling fan. I remember when The Rock broke in,
Mhm, mhm,
and like that dude is like, yeah, he works hard.
mhm.
I mean, all the damn time. I don't know how he has a family. Like, I think he has like for real. I think he lives in like I think he has like 48 hours in one day. I really do.
You have 40.
Like, that's the
All
only
right.
way I can think about
Oh
like how he
man,
can do everything he does. Man, the
you got.
dude is wild. Cause all right, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. And
Okay,
this is
okay,
no
okay.
shot at The Rock, cause I don't want that kind of smoke. I'm a fan. I'm an old school fan. I remember when he was Rocky Maivia. All right, but
Mhm,
yeah, but all right. So like The Rock, is
mhm.
The Rock a great actor? No, he's not a great actor. The
Mhm.
Rock ain't gonna make you cry in the movie. You know what I mean? Could you imagine The Rock trying to be Forrest Gump? That shit look ridiculous. But I enjoy his movies, and he puts them out like there's no tomorrow. Like the
Yeah,
dude is always making a movie. I don't know how,
yeah. Like
but he is, and it's
like he's
entertaining.
making music and just putting out tracks.
Yeah, he's always like putting out movies, and then you
Yeah,
look up and it's like, even back in wrestling, The Rock was not the best. He was the best talker, I give him that, but he
yeah.
was not the best wrestler by all. I could name 10 wrestlers in this era who could technically wrestle better than The Rock.
Mhm,
But the dude, you could tell he worked hard because he had like four
mhm,
moves. He knew when to do them four moves. He knew how to get people involved.
mhm.
And like the dude, he's like he just waking up at 4 a.m. to like power lift all damn day.
Mhm.
Like the dude's amazing. So yeah, that dude has the talent to like just work hard. I truly believe that.
He's a definition of what Bruce Lee said with those 10,000 kicks.
Yeah, no, yeah, that dude is a beast, man. So
Mhm,
you say
mhm,
talent to work hard, most definitely The Rock. That would be my number one choice. Because, like I said, it's not like you enjoy him, you enjoy what
mhm,
he does. I wouldn't say he's necessarily the best
mhm,
at anything. Like, oh, he just
mhm.
has a natural talent for this. I
Yeah.
don't think he really does. I just think the dude he's like, I'm gonna do this, and then
Mhm.
he
But he
just
does it
keeps
well.
doing it. Yeah, he keeps doing it until eventually he gets good at it, or figures out how to make it work and
And
keeps it moving.
that reminds me of Neo too, because Neo said he's not a dancer, but we all have to say that Neo knows how to move. even though he is not a dancer. He says, I only got about 3 to 4 moves on stage. And then once he's done all that, that's it. That's all he said.
No, I know what you mean. Though it's like if you compare him to like a Chris Brown.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's no Chris Brown when it comes to dancing.
Yeah,
but he got it down. He got on lock. It looks good when he does it. So that's it.
Yeah.
But now going back to like got a little off track. But emotionally compelling reason why you want to do it. That's number one. And then number two is, how to stay consistent is taking a big goal, and then just breaking it down to small, little daily goals. And that's the key word in there is daily. Like, what are you doing every day to improve every day? And then, of course, there will be days where you wake up and you're like, man, I don't want to do this right now. I really don't. And that's when you just got to, like, suck it up and just do it. Just do it. Like, there will be days, like, Justin, I'm not going to lie. Like, there will be days when I wake up sometimes and I'm like, yeah, I don't really feel like I want to do the show sometimes. I'm human. You're human. Like, I'm pretty sure there will be days where you woke up, you're like, today I don't feel as good. But then what happens is when you wake up and you do it and you start getting to the roll of it, you're like, all right, it's not that bad. And then you end up having more fun doing it on that day that you didn't want to do it.
Well, I think that goes to what we was talking about too, about go back to like the creating habits and things. Like when we was talking about doing this and we got it off the ground, and we was experimenting, trying to figure out exactly what to do. But then like when we set the schedule, like okay, these are the 2 days we're doing it, and at first it wasn't. I wouldn't say hard because I'm in quarantine, so it wasn't like hard to be. But it was like okay, I got something I need to do and have done at this time. But now we kept doing it over time, and it's just to the point that like it's a habit. It's habitual.
Schedule,
like 2 days out of the week. It's all right. It's gonna happen. I know it's happening. I don't even really think about it anymore because I know, like, okay, I know this show's gonna get done. So whatever I'm doing that day is gonna revolve around
that time.
Yeah, or deal with like that period, that chunk of time in my day, and it's just creating a habit of it.
Yeah, and and this consistency allowed a lot of the people that has the time at 1 p.m. every Tuesdays and Thursdays to consistently come back in around that time. Right?
Nice plug. Nice plug.
No, but it's the truth. What did JR say? Wait, you got to read it, Justin. It's a little white in your background. Yeah.
Are there people who work hard to be talented? Who are some examples of success? Who are examples of failure? Like are there people who work hard to be talented?
to be considered like a talent? Yeah, for sure. I could say.
Go ahead if you know a name. Because I was gonna say like 90% of the NBA. I mean, those dudes work hard to be talented at basketball.
Oh yeah.
But how many NBA players would you really consider are actual stars? You know what I mean? Or actual game changers, maybe. Yeah.
And like, don't look at talent as something that it has to be noticed by the public, because if you have a talent, you have a talent. Like I remember I didn't know how to dance. I think all I did was jump around and swing my arms. Now I'm not gonna say I'm like the best or like I'm not this amazing dancer that goes out there and makes money off of dancing for a living, but it's something that as long as you work hard towards, it will get you somewhere. That's it.
But that's the thing when it comes like to working hard is you're gonna have days where you will falter, man. You know what I mean? Like it's consistently inconsistent. Like you could be as consistent as you want. You're gonna have days where it's just gonna be hard to keep that up, and it's just like it's about like how do you bounce back from those days to get back on track, and try to, and after that, I think it's implementing systems to keep your like bounce back short. So maybe you fall off track. It might take you a week to get back on track. Let's work on if you fall on track again, it takes you 2 days to get back on track. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just trying to hack your brain, man. You figure out what makes yourself tick and
Mm-hmm.
doing what you got to do to keep you going.
Mm-hmm.
You
I'm missing a whole lot of time. Okay, I didn't know this was going on. Mitchell, he's playing hard to get. Okay, Justin said, when I don't feel like doing it, I tend to find reasons why I don't feel like doing it, and think of something to counter it. Yeah, I mean, when we wake up and we don't want to do something, we tend to make. Okay, let's not call it excuses. Let's call it reasons of how I feel to justify why I shouldn't be doing it right now. So when I wake up, like today, I woke up and I was like, I know I need to just do some workout, do some push-ups, whatever it may be, because the gyms are closed. But I still need to work out. But then I woke up thinking like, man, I really don't want to do it right now. I did work out yesterday, and my legs a little bit sore right now. Like I'm starting to justify things on why I shouldn't do it. But then I realized, well, my legs are sore. Do your upper body. If your back's sore from that night before, do something in the front or something. You know what I mean? Like I started to justify why I shouldn't do it when I realized what's more important. What's my goal? What do I want to achieve towards the end? And the title being consistently inconsistent, there's pros and cons from both ends. And when we talk about the relationship part, that's what inconsistency will actually be in your favor to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, like we said before, that's more of a tactic or a strategy.
That's more of a
That's
tactic,
more like
a little
using
strategy.
the idea of it too. In the dating world.
Dating. Speaking of dating, Julie's like, "Why's your back sore, Mitchell? Why?"
Oh shit!
Oh,
I'm not touching that. Anyway, we have some questions here. I'm gonna go right there.
Yeah, let's have some questions.
Is there any character traits that work well in addition with consistency? I think like competitiveness is the first one that comes to mind. If you're competitive, maybe you could, like Michael Jordan in The Last Dance, you just create enemies wherever you see them, and you take it as a personal offense, to drive you.
Basketball. We got Andrew in here, and he loves basketball, so he could shed some insight on that too if he wants.
What's up, man?
Mm-hmm.
I would also say to a degree, some level of stubbornness. If you're stubborn about reaching your goal, then you're gonna be consistent on whatever you need to do. I think that creativity, I think, is a characteristic trait that goes over consistency. Figure out ways to stay on track without getting bored or modify things. So I think it's a bunch of traits that goes well. I mean, selfishness to a degree. I think that's a trait because you gotta care about what you want to do. And ain't nobody gonna care as much as you do.
Oh yeah, no.
That's for sure. You get people that support you and love you, but if it's something you want to do, then you got to make it happen. Yeah.
Let's see what Justin say. Justin said, "Yeah, being knowledgeable and consistently doing what is correct will lead you a long way." Yes, 100%, 100%.
Sleeping consistently a good thing, man. Sleeping consistently is a very good thing, Julie.
Yeah.
Not just the Mitchell, but everything. You gotta get that rest.
Thank you.
All right, you gotta get that rest.
Right on. Yeah. See what you did there. But yeah. Questions. Let's ask. You got some questions for the people, Justin?
Oh yeah. I forgot about it. Yeah. So just two questions I have. Like number one is, what is something you want to be consistent in? So like a goal, just something, I consistently want to wake up at a certain time. I consistently want to go for a walk or whatever it is. And what is the one habit you could change to help be more consistent? Just a little thing you could do. Maybe like you say, if you want to, if you're like, oh man, I just need to do push-ups, maybe your new habit is, as soon as I wake up, I just bust out 15, 20 push-ups.
Yeah, cool. What's up?
What's up, y'all cool, man?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, back from DC putting out artwork.
Yeah, cool's artwork. It's sick. So he's consistent. He's been consistent. He's been consistent.
I want to go so far to say Yaku's almost obsessed, but in a great way, man. That Michael Jackson piece he put out was gangster. That Darth Vader piece he did was raw. I'm a Darth Vader fan.
Consistently want to live.
Do we though? Do we though? I've been inconsistent. Nah, that's dark. I'm joking. That's not funny.
Yeah,
Moving on.
For you guys that are watching right now, yeah, what are something that you want to be consistent in? What's something right now? Just one. Just pick one, maybe two, but no more than that. Like, what is one or two things that you want to be consistent in right now in this current time? I'm not talking about what you want later on or what you had in the past. Right now, Justin said, "I think I'm a pretty consistent person. I had never given hope on programming, even after I got scammed by a private school." That's perfect. You know, that's one thing that's really important. You know, like you fall off the horse, you get back on. Yeah. So Justin, yeah, I applaud you for that, man. Like there will be a lot of times where people tell me I can't do certain things. And, you know, when I was younger, I didn't really know any better.
That's because you can't do them, Mitchell.
No,
you can't.
I don't believe you, Justin. I don't believe you. When does consistency become unhealthy? When you don't take care of your health.
Yeah. When you don't take care of your health, or if you have like a family and you neglect your family, then that consistency becomes like unhealthy. You still gotta prioritize things, man.
I think you gotta set aside about 2 hours every day for something that you truly want to do. Whether it's I want to be an artist, I want to be a singer, I want to be a dancer. There's something that you have to put aside every day for 2 hours.
No matter how ridiculous it is, too. Because we said this before, but it's like we live in an age where the shit that we was told was a waste of time is not making people billions of dollars. So you know, whatever it is you love to do it. If you can, try to figure out how to monetize it. Or, you know, or do it for joy, and something might come up. You never know. You really never know, man. But people are like making money from the most mundane. People making money from eating food on camera
or selling bathwater.
Selling bathwater. Not even that. Hold on, what did Yaku say? Yaku said he wants to reading every day. I feel you every day. That, man. Yeah, I definitely want to read. Need to read more.
So
I feel myself getting dumber.
Not audible.
Well, I mean, to those
reading? Is that considered reading?
Wait, to those bastards sponsor me? No, I got the same books until I get that sponsorship. All right.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what's one thing right now that you want to do consistently? What's one thing? Like, what's your end goal, and what's one thing that you want to work towards that goal?
Are you talking to me personally? Or are you talking to the
JR?
Oh, JR. Okay, I was like, who are you talking to? I didn't hear that part. All right.
Julie says she gave up on me already. I'm not waiting for him. Yeah. So, but here's the thing with no, I'm not gonna even get into that.
Go hunting down. That's all, yeah. That's all, yeah. That sounds like a personal situation.
So, here's one thing too, where I know someone that's a really hard worker, works really hard, but feels bad when it comes to resting. I'm like, why? Why is resting bad? They told me it's because I feel like I'm not being productive. And I was like, well, I started questioning. I was like, well, if you're the foundation of everything, and if you burn out, everything that you work for collapses. So what good is that if you don't take a break every now and then?
Yeah.
What good is that? And then couldn't really give me a direct answer, but you know, it's gonna take time for them to develop their own reason why. Oh, but I got another Justin, Mr. Yang in here.
What's up?
Yeah.
But that goes to that whole thing what we was talking about with the you know, that grind culture mentality, man, where it makes people almost feel, you know, guilty for not working. You know, which is strange. I mean, to the point where even in, you know, we talked about this before too, like, you know, in America, they always say the thing, the fat, lazy American. But it's like, if you look at our like work culture, like how much people work and, you know, the lack of like sleep and all that stuff, it's like crazy. The lack of like time off and maternity leave and vacation and like sick days, and how people just don't take time off and will literally work themselves to the ground, man. Like it's ridiculous, you know. It's a mentality that permeates us. Like if you're not hustling 24/7, if you're not making moves, if you're not doing this, or you if you're not being productive, you're wasting your life. And it's
Yeah.
like there's a balance there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying lay in bed all day and
Mm-hmm.
like don't be doing nothing, but
Mm-hmm.
if you feel tired, stop.
Rest.
Yeah, take a break.
I haven't heard from Yang in a while. Yo, Justin, how you been? Justin, the other Justin.
Yeah,
Yeah, how you been? How you
it's
been?
good, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I most definitely do believe that. And I saw this video a long time ago. This guy was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It seems counterproductive to like rest and like take care of yourself, but
Mm-hmm.
I think what you find out is that the quality of the work you do goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're working, let's
Well
say
put. Well put.
let's say you're working 16 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Just you wake up, as soon as you wake up, you hit the ground running. You're just
Mm-hmm.
always doing something. Well, if you take 2 hours out of that 16 hours and you use some to meditate,
Mm-hmm.
use some to work out, use some to maybe get an extra hour of
Mm-hmm.
sleep, just something to take care of yourself. I think what you'll find is you're probably able to
Quality.
get more done in that other 14 hours you have left, or the
Mm-hmm.
work that you do in that 14 hours is
Mm-hmm.
going to be of a higher caliber than anything you
Mm-hmm.
can produce when you frazzled, burnt out,
Mm-hmm.
can't sit down and focus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's it is. I think it is a mind shift that's needed. The balance.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bring balance to the force.
Yeah. Let's see. He says, Justin says he's good. Getting through the holidays. Just you 100% right. When multiple, 100% right there. Been multiple studies supporting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justin, wait, is that Yang that used to work at?
Yeah. Starbucks.
Oh, what's up, man? Dog, I ain't seen you in forever, dog.
Yeah, that's Yang. Yeah, that's Yang. But this I have some tips for you guys of knowing your why. Knowing your why. Now I didn't make this up, so I forgot the person. I should give that person the credit, but knowing your why.
You stealing ideas, Mitchell? You trying to get us?
This is not my idea.
You
This
plagiarizing.
is not my idea, but I want to share with you because I thought it was very helpful, which was establishing your why, knowing your why, and establishing it, keeping it as detailed as you can. So like, what do you want to do? Keep it as detailed as you can. Now, of course, set realistic goals. Don't be like, no, I want like 100,000 subscribers or whatever in like 3 months. Like it may happen, it probably won't, but set realistic examples. Julie, I'm gonna ignore you. I'm gonna go on to number 2. Number 2 is pick your battle. And one thing that she said that was really important was pick your battle. Singular, keeping it singular. And it got me thinking. I was like, why? And it made a lot of sense because a lot of people want to attack everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, go ahead.
Nicole Jones, that was the name of the.
Nicole Jones. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. But picking your battles and keeping it singular. That resonated a lot to me because sometimes I find myself trying to figure everything out all at once when it's not going to happen like that. Just choose one thing you want to do and just keep attacking it. And that's it, and figuring it out. Number 3, schedule your priorities. Scheduling your priorities. So one thing that you do, Justin, you and I do right now is we schedule around this time right now. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
So, to the people out there that says you don't have time, figure it out.
No, there's a power in like scheduling out your day. There really is, and talk about once again being consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like when I was working before COVID, like I would consistently schedule out my day because I had to. I had so much shit that I had to get done that there was no other way that I could do it. And since COVID, I've been more laxed on like actually scheduling out my day the way I was for the past. But there is most definitely a power to that. Like you could, I quote him before, Jordan Peterson. It's like the good thing about making a schedule is you can schedule the day you want. You do take some kind of control over that. And instead of having like events happen to you, it is okay. Like I know I don't want to do this, but I would rather do it now and get it over with, or I would rather do it after I do like this thing than, put it off. So yeah, scheduling is huge.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore more of that.
Is that the
Speaking of
domestic?
ignoring,
Is that the domestic and violence? The domestic
no, it's
violence
not.
or something? A domestic
Which
disturbance.
which is to my fourth one, which is Nicole Jones. Thank you, Justin. She said about ignoring some feelings, or ignore the feelings where you wake up. You know, we spoke about this earlier, where days when you wake up and you don't want to do anything, like just get up and do it. Just get up and do it. You will find out later on that it's not as bad as you thought it would be. It's not as bad. So just do it. Okay. And the last thing was, and I liked how she planned this out too, was where don't beat yourself up if you fall short. Get up and start again. So like, let's just say there might be times where we won't do a live or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up because I missed it. Let's just say I didn't wake up that day and I overslept, and it's now 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. What happened to the live? I'm not. It would suck, but I'm not gonna beat myself up for it. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move on and do the best work that I can, and still give that quality.
Yeah, I would beat you up, but I mean,
You
that's
would,
not.
what?
But
Knowing you,
that's
because
something
you
else.
got bigger, Justin.
Oh, what you trying to say? First off, I've always been bigger than you. All right, always. So that's not even a question. All right, and I still got a solid 45 seconds of whoop ass left in this bloated frame. Okay, so if you can't survive that first round, that's your ass. All right, that's on you. That's on you.
Let's see. Justin said, depends on the task. If the task requires your brain, it doesn't work. But if the task requires your muscle, yeah, it will work. Or you just do it. And Julie said something about, she's attacking me now.
I know that's not true. I know that's not.
I know.
I see. I read that. I see. I think even with what Justin just said, like if it's your brain and stuff. No, I disagree with that, because the truth is you can at least get started. You'll be surprised like how much just getting started on something can help you like keep going, man. You really will. So, you can just give it a shot. Even if it's not good work, even if it's not quality work and you're not happy with it, it'll at least give you a frame to start with.
What y'all say?
Studies show multitasking is a myth. It's really just a switch brain from one thing to another, back and forth. Actually, brain. Yeah, no, almost 100% true. That's what I think. That's why women are more tired than men on an average basis. It's because they multitask, man, about everything. Like they do.
They on that myth.
Listen, I said that. Bill Burr said it. Bill Burr said it funnier than I did, but it's the truth to that, man. Like there is a. It's tiring multitasking. It really is. So, yeah.
Let's switch it up to some relationship stuff, Justin.
Man, that's all you. Go ahead. That's all you.
Nah, man,
that was you. That was you who was coming with the dark side of the force over here.
This isn't dark, but,
this is the Sith Lord Mitchell Tang over here. We're all my Mandalorian fans.
So this is where inconsistencies can be in your favor. For the people that I hear about relationships, inconsistency will take. So an example would be, let's just say you're interested in a girl, and you're not blowing up her phone, and you're taking your time. Sometimes you might leave her on read. You might give her that read receipt. She might not like it. What's up, Julie? I see you there. But let's just say you're doing your thing. You're focused on your purpose. All the things that we said prior to this. You're focusing on yourself. You're doing the things that you need to do. And when you got the time, you respond back to her. Maybe you left on read, maybe you responded a couple hours later. But the point is, you responded. You're not ghosting her now. Now, like if you're trying to develop any type of attraction for a girl, from a girl, to have more attraction towards you, don't ghost her. Ghosting her is the worst thing that you could do to build attraction. Nothing will be there if you ghost her. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. If you ghost her, she is not going to want you later on. Now, unless she's obsessed, now you're gonna have a problem. That's a red flag. Now, that's something that you don't want in your life. Okay,
You don't like that danger,
I
Mitchell.
don't
You don't like
like
that
that
toxicity.
type of danger.
You don't want
I
that
don't like it.
obsessive behavior.
No, get that away from me. So, yeah. So no. So this
That's
is where
hilarious.
like that inconsistency of being consistently inconsistent in that category will be in your favor. That's how you could actually build the attraction, because the girl needs time away from you to start thinking about you, to start building attraction. Now, if you're always consistently there and you're always blowing up her phone, you're like 99% of the guys that's trying to hit on her. 99%. What makes you so damn special? It doesn't allow her to think like
You average at best.
you're average at best. You're average.
You average at best, Mitchell. Is that what you said to the fellas out there?
Average. You don't want to be
Oh.
average. You want to stand out. How are you going to stand out? Leave her alone. Focus on your purpose. A lot of the things that we said will apply. It does apply. You just got to do it. And then you just got to believe in the process too. Because, see, here's another thing too. A lot of the guys that comes to me and when I tell them, look, you just need to give her some freaking time. Leave her alone. She don't need, let her think about you. And she doesn't think about you, it's okay. You still focus on your purpose. And then they ask me like, oh, what's this time frame? What is this time frame where she will like miss me and then, reach out to me? And I'm like, there isn't. It could be 2 days. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 4 months. It could be a year, and you don't know. But the tactic is, when she reaches back out, don't ghost her. Number one, stop ghosting. Yeah, unless you don't want anything to do with that girl, don't ghost her, okay? If she reaches back out, act like nothing happened. But of course, it has to work on your terms, because you, as the guy, you tried to reach out. She wasn't reciprocating. So then now, when she wants to reach back out to you, let it become her idea. And of course, ask her to go out, set a date or whatever. I know it's COVID, so maybe schedule something else, maybe a FaceTime date or something like that. That could work. Let's see. Yeah, cool.
Yaku said also in relationships, if you get her used to going out to places to eat and have fun, you better keep that going through the relationship, or she will bring it up. I remember when you used to. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I hear that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when you used to do that. Yeah. Most of that. Whatever you start doing, you got to stay doing, which could be hard at times, but it is what it is. I've been consistent with relationships that don't have the same level of reciprocation and compatibility. I seek the opportunity to spend quality time, as my intent is to continue to know them.
Is this referring to like yeah? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, if it's like if it's reciprocation compatibility, at that point, I think you got to be selfish and value your time. Like, if you don't think someone, all right, I would say this. I think it depends on what you're trying to get out of it. If you're looking for like a partner, like someone you want to date and stuff, but you don't think there's a compatibility thing, then that's just a waste of time. You wasted your time. You wasted their time. Just move on. So maybe we can be friends, acquaintances, or whatever. But just if it's like a reciprocation thing, that's when I would say like what you just said. It's like, okay, you put the invitation out there. If it's not given back, then all right, I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. I'm working on me. I ain't worried about what this person does. And then but that's the thing too, is like now, when you do that, when you use this tactic, Mitchell said, and this person, they reach back out and they're like, oh yeah, I haven't heard from you in a while, that kind of bullshit.
How you been? Yeah.
That's when I don't think it's necessarily playing a game, but at the same time, you do have to be cognizant and value your time. And it's just like, you can't come in basically all thirsty and like, oh, hey, how you been? I can't
Yeah.
wait to do. No, screw that. Like, you cut that off.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I ain't heard from you. Oh, I'm cool. Just, working on my projects. Bam, that's it.
Boom. Yeah.
Let it
Schedule
go.
a time and
You
date.
know,
Hey, when's the
and
next time
once
you're
again,
available?
it's that's like valuing your time.
Yeah.
Don't with something like that. I think it depends on like it's all about your intent. Your intent isn't to play a game with this person to like manipulate them into
Mm-hmm.
want to them like being like I want to see you and that kind of crap. No, your intent is I gave out the invitation. You at the time did not value spending time with me,
Mm-hmm.
but you are not the most valuable thing in my life. The most valuable
Yeah,
thing
yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
like I'm the most valuable thing. So I offered some of my time to you. You didn't want it. That's time I allocated to other things. Now, if you
Mm-hmm.
want this time back, you're going to have to show to me that it is
Thank you.
worth me investing that time back into
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And if you real fly with it, you could say something similar to that. You know what I'm saying? like, be ready to take that L, but you can do it.
Yeah. And to the guys out
Yeah.
there too, like what we're telling you guys, like this, it's a way of thinking. So don't try to take these word for word and like apply it like, oh, if they said this, then do like this is a way.
This is an
It's a way
idea.
of thinking. It's
the
a
theory.
mindset.
Yeah.
Because if same thing like what you were saying earlier too, Justin. You were saying like when it comes to like your intent, focus on what you want to do. Because if you're trying to play games, you're coming from a place that want to play games, and if that game doesn't work out the way you want it, you're gonna have expectations, and then if those expectations doesn't fulfill you, you're gonna start being, building this type of resentment, and then you're gonna act out of fear, and when you act out of fear, women sense that shit like shark blood and water for sharks, and you start losing it.
or you just end up hurting somebody.
Or
Like
that too.
I think that's the thing too with like games and stuff. It's like you really end up like hurting needlessly hurting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be considered what I just told you to do or to say could be considered hurtful. But the truth is, I don't think it's straight up hurtful. It's blunt.
Mm.
It's just blunt truth about how you feel about yourself in the situation.
Yeah.
That's a different level. Like that's not disrespectful. Maybe that's the better word I should use. It's not, that's not being disrespectful or devaluing that person. That's about that person's actions and how there's consequences to certain actions. Yeah, so I think that's a big difference. Hold on, what did you say? You said, so in the case of consistency, isn't the answer? Oh, so in that case, consistency isn't the answer, but realizing with lack of mutual connection, realizing the reality that there is a lack of. I mean, once again, life isn't black and white, man. So you gotta,
the older
I
you
think,
get,
you realize it's a lot of variables
more gray,
and like different ways to frame things. So like with that, it's a lack of mutual connection is a whole other thing. That's just like, hey, this isn't going to work. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste the time with that other person. But overall, I will say that it is consistently because you're consistently like putting yourself
inconsistent.
first. You're consistently like valuing your time and your what you want, your purpose above all else. So it's still within that frame. It's just how you look at it. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Julie say Mitchell on that different level. Yeah, self-love is first. Love yourself.
Self-love. And then
love yourself.
That's why it goes back to saying like in a relationship too as well, where you're not trying to complete each other. You're trying to share the completeness that you have with each other. So everything we say comes from a core. It comes, and everything will start molding. Once you start applying it a little at a time, it's a process. So enjoy the process. Enjoy the time that you're doing it. Because eventually, if you do it enough, it will get you somewhere. I guess, Mitchell. Time for me. Yeah. But I like the fact that Julie is in here consistently supporting. You know, that's really good.
Or
Or just
consistently roasting. Like she roasted
yeah.
you pretty well, I must say.
No, I know. No, I don't
I
think so.
must say,
Just
but I think that's what all ladies do. I think all
yeah,
ladies try to roast their dudes on a certain level. They just
yeah,
enjoy
yeah, yeah,
it. It's fun to
yeah.
them, you know.
It is fun, you know. And the moment the guy loses his center, and I talked about losing your center of not being at rock long time ago, of losing that emotional, that center. They see that, and once they see that, they just start they, they just start taking bites away from you, and then you start losing, and then you start getting mad. You start trying to
It's like
figure out things to just,
like
what do you
like
mean?
waves on the
I
beach.
yeah, like I did this for
Just
you, and that's when you lost. Like the moment you say I did this for you, that's when you lost. Okay, you just lost. You just lost. Yeah, you lost
no,
her.
no,
Okay, you
it's a
didn't
lot
lose
of truth to
the
that.
battle. You lost her. Oh,
Yeah.
you chipping away. She's gonna start losing attraction. She's gonna start losing respect for you. When a woman does not respect you, she does not love you. Okay, say that.
No, there's a
Yeah,
lot of truth to that.
yeah.
And you got to kill somebody to get that back.
Or you just gotta
You
shake it,
know?
or you gotta shake a baby like what Justin does.
I said I was going to shake you like a baby. I don't walk around just shaking babies.
So hey,
Okay.
can I see your baby?
Although I have seen some babies that probably could use a shaking or two, some little
Okay,
badass.
but maybe not
I
from
mean,
you.
it considers what you consider a baby. Like some people call a 2-year-old a baby. If that
Yeah.
child is bad as hell, maybe they need a
Hmm.
shaking. You know,
Hmm.
put them in a
Yeah.
pillowcase for a little while, just something to let them
Hmm.
know.
Oh, actually, I did miss out on one thing that I didn't want to talk about, which was the whole when she's pursuing you, you know. So you contacted her. She didn't reciprocate. She months later, weeks, days, whatever, hours, she comes back. And when she comes back, I said, don't ghost her. Set up a time and date, but keep it very short. Hey, how you been? Blah blah blah. Yeah, let's 5 to 10 minutes tops, and then just ask her to come out. Now, the thing is, when it is evident that she likes you, when it is evident, you sharing some of your feelings will build attraction when it's more evident that she likes you. Now, the next thing that you shouldn't do is to over pursue. And what I mean by that is don't blow up her phone. Do not blow up her phone, because the moment you do that, the roles reverse. When the roles reverse, you're starting to become more feminine. Now, as the guy, you don't want to show that feminine trait. And the reason why is because once the roles reverse and you start over pursuing, that's when you start losing her attraction towards you.
Yeah.
It's one thing. That's the last part I missed out. Sorry, guys. Don't be an Al Bundy.
Basically, you can look at them and tell you that you are average at best, and
You average
I
if
can
you
replace
start
you
doing the
at
same.
any moment. At
Hmm.
any moment, you can be
Hmm. Yeah.
replaced. That's some dark shit, Mitchell. I'm just letting you know that right now.
What?
That's
What?
dark.
What?
What you just said, okay?
How is it dark, Justin? Say it.
That's what you said. You tell them like you can be replaced at any moment. All right, your position is not
Okay, you
solidified.
easy. Yeah, you suck if you keep doing that. Stop sucking.
See,
Yeah,
I'm not touching that one. I'm leaving that one
yeah. Do you want to be at guys? Do you want to be average at best on a regular day? Below average. It seems like you are powerless. Do you want to be powerless? No, no, you don't.
alone. Who are you talking to?
People,
What
people.
is this? I don't even know what the hell is happening anymore. What are you drinking, man? You been drinking Four Loco again? Like what's going
Don't want me
on?
again. No.
You
Matter,
been
matter
drinking
of
that
fact,
Four
Justin,
Loco.
we should. All right.
I'm not drinking Four Loco. What's wrong
No,
with
not
you?
for. I never said for local. Okay, for you guys out there, I'm looking at the calendar right now. On December New Year's Eve.
Unless For Loco wants to sponsor us, let me throw that out there. I still, I still maintain that this is COVID times. Okay, we can't trust the government. All right, they have left us without stimulus or anything. So if For Loco's looking for a sponsorship, hey,
that like they out giving vaccines way too early. I'm
I
gonna be
don't
at least wait.
look. I ain't touching that one. I'm just that's a hot button issue.
That's a
But you
hot
know,
button.
I would
That's
just
a hot
say
button.
I am African American, as most of you can tell. So you could do with that information as you will. How I feel and trust all of this
Although
coming up.
I feel like you're part Asian too. So
Why is that?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you that off camera.
Why
I'm gonna tell
is
you that
that?
off camera, Jess. I'm gonna give you a call. I'm not gonna call Julie. I'm gonna give you a call, and I'm gonna let you know.
Just because I like Japan and certain anime and Asian foods and
chow mein
things, you know.
and
Chow
stuff.
mein is
Yeah,
delicious, man.
exactly. See, yeah, like
Get out of here, man.
yeah.
That's delicious.
You
But
know
yeah,
more Asian culture than I do. You
for
really
for
do.
for Loco, you know, if you
For
see the
Loco.
sponsor, listen, I don't need both my kidneys. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do it.
You out here prostituting one kidney for some
I don't need both my kidneys. For Loco wants to throw us a couple of
He said, I don't need both my kidneys.
couple of
Oh
grand.
my God. I need to clip that. I don't need both my
A
kidneys.
couple of grand. Listen, it's COVID times, okay? We try to get the jobs prospects. We don't know what's happening. We gotta get that paper. All right. So
I'm down.
yeah,
I'm down.
For Loco. Yeah, Yaku more Asian than I am. Okay, if you want to, if that's your qualifications, Mitchell. All right, this is not coming from me. This is coming from you.
Okay.
But
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get a drink on New Year's Eve. We're gonna drink and we're gonna have fun on the show. So for you guys that want to enjoy with us, feel free, come join. Bring your beer, whatever you like to drink, coffee, water, tea, whatever it may be. Come and join. But
yeah, come on.
Yeah. Any last questions for you guys? Any last questions? I know we touched on a lot of the topics. We spoke about consistently inconsistent. It's not so much intensity. It's about the consistency and accumulations, about everything that you do. We gave examples of brushing your teeth, just working out, and all that. And then of course, you don't want to overwork. We gave 5 tips. Nicole Jones.
Yeah.
Repeat that one more time, which was establish your why, keeping it as detailed as you can, pick your battles, and keeping it singular. So when you pick your battles one at a time, scheduling your priorities, really important. Ignoring some of the feelings that you wake up, you don't want to do it. It's an obstacle. It's usually not as bad as you think once you start doing it. Don't beat yourself up if you fall short. Get up and start doing it again. It's okay. Sometimes you're allowed to have some sick time, some sick days or rest time. So it's okay if you fall off the wagon. Just get yourself back up. Don't spend like 3 weeks moaning about it and then trying to catch back up, because the algorithm is going to forget about you. Time moves, even if you stay still.
Yeah, time is undefeated, my friend.
Yeah.
It is undefeated.
Time and the internet, they will roast you. They always win. You will never win.
Oh, yeah, you can't. Yeah, the internet.
You can't win the internet.
But you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We do these Instagram lives every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, if you guys find this video content of value, you guys can show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to send us a direct message, a little bump on the road or whatever. Feel free to send us a direct message. We will answer it as soon as we can. And then till next time, we're out.
Yeah, take it easy, man.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.